What's up, YouTube? It's Tired Night, Toon Tide's Life. I'm about to be reacting to the case for Larry Bird. So, like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know if you want me to react to more videos like this. If you want me to react to people making a case for Larry Bird. As you can see with certain people, he could be underrated with the way they rate people in like the media. The way they rate Larry Bird in the media might not be up to par with what your liking is. As far as what I'd be hearing, sometimes I feel like people don't be putting him in the top 5 sometimes, but mostly I feel like he's in most people's top 5, and then they'll put Kareem and all those guys over him, and I'm like, okay, I could see that, but it's like I don't agree with it, but I can see it. But Kareem has accomplished more than Bird, but I don't know if he was a better player exactly. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, stuff like that, let me know, because these videos are making a case for Larry Bird, and they're usually comparing Larry Bird to Magic. And in my opinion, Magic and Larry Bird are very close. I usually give Larry Bird the upper hand, but sometimes when I be watching Magic Johnson's highlights, I'm like, wow, this man was a problem. But Larry Bird is definitely, I feel like, all around as far as like what he can bring to the table and his toughness and his scoring ability. Like, I usually go with Larry Bird, but it's like a back and forth thing. But yeah, usually Larry Bird, I'd be saying like, yeah, I think Larry Bird is better. But those guys were rivals, and they're very close, and whoever grew up in that time probably had a blast watching both of them go at it for the whole careers. But yeah, about to get into this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's get into it.
I believe Larry Bird is the third greatest player to ever pick up a basketball, and odds are you probably don't. But in the next 10 minutes, my goal is to convince you why you're wrong. And as a bonus, I'm going to be giving away a Larry Bird jersey to the first person to correctly comment the number of bird puns I use in this video, because you know what they say, the early peak of his career. Let's do this. So to me, the case for Larry Bird is really pretty simple. It's the fact that the peak of his career was as good as anybody we've ever seen. And yeah, that includes LeBron James and Michael Jordan. So just to kind of start things off, I want to give a bird's eye view of Larry's time in Boston, because in the first 9 years to hatch his career, Bird was a top 4 MVP finisher every single year. Yeah, including as a rookie. He averaged an absurd 25, 10, and 6, along with 2 steals and a block. He was the only player in modern NBA history to this day to win back-to-back-to-back MVPs. And get this, he ends his career as the second winningest player by win percentage ever, only trailing Magic Johnson, who we'll get to in a sec. And that last point's important, because there's nothing that summarizes Bird's impact on the game more than just his impact on winning. In fact, the season before Bird got to Boston, they went 29-53. As a rookie, Bird comes to town, they immediately win 61 games. They then, for the rest of the decade, rattle off 62 wins, 63 wins, 56, 62, 63, 67, 59, 57.
So there's a difference, yes.
If that's not dominating an era, then yeah, I don't know what is.
Definitely, for sure.
So I'm going to keep talking about the accolades and the playoff success in the next section, but I quickly want to touch on the other key part of my argument for Bird. And it's the fact that the guy was probably the perfect basketball player. Think about it. Bird was a 6'9" wing that could handle and was one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen. He could score at all 3 levels. Obviously, he was one of the first great 3-point shooters in the NBA. He had mid-range. He could attack the rim. He could also post your ass up, too.
Correct.
Unbelievably clutch player. He is a top 10 passer in NBA history. Had serious eagle eyes for the entire court. I mean, he was a double-digit rebounder. He was an all-league defensive player,
right now,
including finishing third in DPOY in 1983. And perhaps his best skill was his basketball IQ and feel for the game. And the proof of that is that even after he retired on the court, he went on to win a Coach of the Year and an Executive of the Year with the Pacers. I mean, there was just nothing Larry Bird couldn't do as a basketball player, and you can't say that about any other player in NBA history. So at the beginning of the video, I kind of teased Bird being one of the greatest winners in NBA history, and that is absolute facts. And I think I could just sit here and say he was a 3-time champ, 2-time finals MVP in the toughest era the NBA's ever seen, and that would be good enough to kind of prove my point. But I want to go through and give some actual examples, starting with Bird's rookie year. So, in the playoffs as a rookie, in the first round, he played Moses Malone's Houston Rockets, swept them, closed them out with a light 34-10-7 in Game 4. The Celtics then lost to prime Dr. J's 76ers in the second round, but for that series, Bird still averaged 22, 14, and 3. And then guess what? The next season, they win the championship, beat Moses Rockets again, and Bird had 27, 13, and 5 to close out the finals.
Bird's a monster.
This is a second-year player we're talking
straight out the gate.
In 1982, I'll admit, the Celtics kind of laid an egg and lost to the 76ers in 7. But in that Game 7 loss, it's not like Bird laid an egg himself. He had 20, 11, 9, and 4. And the Game 7 resume is as impressive as anything I've ever found for any superstar ever. Check this out. In 7 Game 7s in the 1980s, Larry Bird averaged 29.1 points, 9.9 rebounds, and 7.1 assists. Also, 3.5 stocks, and he shot 48%, 44%, 95%. I mean, what are we even talking about here? Those are in Game 7s. If we expand that to 24 elimination games in his playoff career, he averaged 23 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. Bird is one of the clutchest big game shower-uppers that we've ever seen, maybe in sports. And then let me keep going. From 1984 onwards, the Celtics went championship, lost in the finals, championship, lost in the finals. Sounds kind of like LeBron James in Miami. So going back even to my last section, if we're talking peak for peak, Bird's up there with anybody, man. And think about it this way too, the Eastern Conference during this time was an absolute gauntlet, because not only did you have Bird Celtics, but you had the bad boy Pistons were coming. I mean, you had Dr. J, Moses Malone and the 76ers. You had Michael Jordan and a young Chicago Bulls. Dude, you even had the Milwaukee Bucks with Sidney Moncrief. They had some good teams in this era. The Eastern Conference in the mid-80s was an absolute gauntlet. And Larry Bird and the Celtics, they turned it into a video on him. Now look, I've been hyping up Bird a lot, but I'm again not arguing that Bird is the GOAT. I still think Jordan and LeBron are in their own tier. And it's admittedly kind of hard to compare Larry Bird to the greatest big.
Would y'all put Larry Bird over Kobe? I assume so, because like most of the people that watch this think Larry Bird's the GOAT, or they think he's top 3, or because I've been hearing a lot of that. People putting a lot of players over Kobe, and outside of Larry Bird, Jordan and LeBron, I don't think people should be putting anybody over Kobe other than those 3. Like, honestly, I don't like. I can understand why people would put Larry over Kobe, but I still like. I'm still leaning towards Kobe. So in the comments, let me know. Make a case for Larry Bird, and tell me why you think Larry Bird is better than Kobe. Because I don't know, just because growing up I watched Kobe, so it's like I have more insight on Kobe's game than, because I have knowledge on Larry Bird, as you can see, like watching my videos, but it's like I actually watched Kobe play live. You know what I'm saying? I never watched Larry Bird play live, so it's a different feeling. So I'm obviously going to lean towards the person that I've watched growing up, Kobe Bryant. So, and he's like the closest thing to Jordan. So it's like, I'm obviously going to put most guys behind Kobe Bryant, especially the legends. And the only people that I usually put over him is LeBron and Jordan. And then when I hear in conversations people put Larry Bird over Kobe, Larry Bird is literally the only one that I can say, okay, I understand that. I might not agree, but I might at some point be persuaded to that side. Okay, Larry Bird is better. Because he's definitely more efficient. That's the one thing. Because that Game 7 stat line, like 58, 44, and 40 is nuts. It's nuts. And the numbers that he's putting up, like that's literally a nightmare for the other team. Like he has his hand in everything. Because he's passing the ball, getting rebounds, efficient as hell. 58, almost 60, 40, and 40. Almost 60, 45, and 40 as efficiency goes. Like you can't do better than that. Like especially in a crucial moment like that. There's no folding. There's no folding nowadays. Superstars be folding under the spotlight. Like, you're not getting that from Larry Bird. So that's why that's why he's in a lot of people's top 3s, top 5s. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't put him lower than top 5 in any regard. Like Larry Bird is top 5 for me for sure. Like there's no lower than that. Like it's not even a debate. I only can say 3 or 4 people might be better than him.
Make your case in the comments. Why is Larry Bird top 3 or the GOAT? And turn on your post notifications to catch part 2 at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Now stay tuned for your daily devotion.
We don't need to surrender the desires God has put in our heart if God put them there. What we need to surrender in this season of our life is the way we thought it was supposed to go. Let go of how you thought it was supposed to go. And while you're at it, let go of when you thought it was supposed to get there. Because the issue isn't will God, it's when God. It's not will God, it's when God. And it doesn't just depend on what he wants to do. It depends on what you are willing to do until God does.